recording or what's going on here? Like how we, like coming going out over YouTube or how we?
Yeah, now we are.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I've got 593. Yeah, 593 subscribers as of today, and so I'm in as of September the 9th. I will have been on YouTube for 15 years. That's when I first started watching YouTube. My first one, I think, was January 2006. I put my first video up on YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, and I've got 660, I think it's 663 or 664 videos as of right now. And so I've got a good bit on there.
Yeah.
And so I've got quite a few. Then, like some of them, like from like mostly because I only recently was losing my sight. So, but I was just watching mostly like videos, just like from people around here, subscribing to some of the people from this area here, and then just more recent, of course, I subscribed to you, and I've subscribed to Hope, and I've subscribed to Thomas. Of course, that's how, like Tom, like doing everything blind, and of course, I'm subscribed also to Blind to Billionaire, and well, I've had this like my RP life, but I guess he's no longer doing videos, so that was about. I'm on Lucy Edwards is another one I'm on, and so and of course yourself too, and so quite a few. So fair enough, and then also Melissa Jocks, like Melissa and JACQUES. She's she's really vision impaired, but she's disabled herself. She just does like these. Just where she's talking, and yeah, as far as doing the videos, I just use a little flip camcorder, like a flip camera that I've had for several years, and it plugs into the USB port, and like it plugs into the USB, and I download the videos up there. And I used to, when I could see better, I would do several clips and put them together in software, but I can't really do that now. So when I have done a couple of videos on the iPhone, I would use the iMovie and then just trim the clips, like record each clip, and then I would click with my finger up and down to move the point to where I would want to cut out part of the clip, like from the beginning to the end, to trim it, and then I would just trim it, put it together in iMovie, and would make the video. So that's how I, yeah. And so, and yeah, I'm just thinking that some ideas to do videos because I'm just here. I don't really go out much. I've done a few videos. I've done a few like where I've gone for walking, and of course I used to do when I go out. I go out, we ride the different buses around the city here, and a lot of that, and more earlier videos. But now it's just more just walking. And the last couple of videos were just the last one was of me. Talking about, I think it was, well, one of them I did like about the it was the chocolate lava crunch cake from Domino's. I did that, and then there was one other one I did after that. I had, for life, it's just it's in my tongue right now, but it's like I can't think of it offhand now. But
that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do some more videos, and so that's a little bit of myself, and then because I always like to, I don't like a lot of repetition in my videos. I like to do like a lot of redundancy, same where they're similar. I try to bring a little more variety. So even if there are gaps between videos, I think that either something I want to do and then record them. So
right.
Yeah. So and I like to, and I also like to watch like some of the videos. Like there's one particular one that he's not blind. Like he's really into elevators. He has a fascination with elevators. So he makes videos of elevators. It's called Life Can 23 is what he does. He's just somebody from this area. I think he's like 20 something years old. He's fairly young. And so then there's that, and then there's just so that's one, and then there's some I think it's the Weather Network, which is our Canadian weather channel here. Like it's kind of like the Weather Channel, but it's Canadian, and they'll do different stuff. I don't watch a lot of those, but I have like more recent subscriptions. I will put the like this, of course. Of course, I can't see the bell, but I can tab where it says subscribe, and then on it'll set like personalized notifications,
right.
And then I push enter on it, and then it'll say like you'll have listen, it'll say all notifications. I'll enter that, and then of course it sends me an YouTube app as well as sending me email. email, and when I'm watching the videos, I click the link, I select the link in the email notification, and watch it there, so that of course the sound quality is good, and of course I'm not draining my iPhone battery too.
Right.
So, yeah. And so that's a little bit of the take on how I do my videos, stuff like that. So of course anybody we know they're welcome to subscribe. Of course they get HANS and then Blast LAST. That it gets two separate like there's a space between it.
Right.
And so that's my channel, and so it's a little bit of a history, or well, a little bit of a sum up of the various video channels I've got. I mean, they may not be the most, like, maybe some of them may not be as interesting as others, but it's there. It's something, like,
right.
You know, like maybe some people may like it, some people may not. And I've got a video actually from that's been up there since I think 2008 on my channel where I just one of those. I think it's through the Lions Club. It's like a round bowl thing where where you drop pennies down and it goes around and around in a circle and eventually goes down towards the center and falls into a cup. Mm-hmm. And I think it's for the charities. And I know and that one's got over 100,000 views.
Oh wow!
And then I've got and then there's a mall. Like one of the malls where I was living in Brantford, Ontario, and I wasn't like I'd gone back to the blind school to visit my girlfriend at the time there. So it was during school hours, so I went out to the mall while she was still in school, and I took some video on an old VHS camcorder that I had and did it on a tape and shot some footage around the mall, and that's got over 32,000 views.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then so and that's the other thing about just like recording videos is just stuff around like walking, because someone says, and they've got commented, I remember that, that brings back childhood memories, and that's the nice thing about some of these videos, because I just like recording life for what it is. I don't like to have to stage and everything and stuff like that. So that's what I like to do, just record life as is, even if it is mistakes and knock things over, bumping into things, and just whatever happens. And that's why I like to record, because that's the way it is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so
so what made you choose the YouTube name you have instead of like something else? Like,
originally it was like HANS, HANS 1019 was my actual YouTube username, and that was back before it was all combined with Google and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like HANS, of course, was my name, and then like my the month and year I was born. So, and then just because when it migrated to Google, then of course a Google account, and of course that's the regular name on Google. I've thought about, I've given some consideration to putting a name to my channel, but I'm just trying to think about what, because right now the state of my vision, even though it's for all intents and purposes gone, except I'm just like because I've got what is called. The doctor told me the other day, so, it's a form of keratoconus. It's kind of a complex condition, and it's I know and a lot of it's the cornea, and it just looks like my eye is covered, even though it's not actually is. But it just, I see everything like I'm just seeing like a lot of darkness and just like white cover, and like it's just like if someone turns the light on in the room, I can see if the light's on, or like even if I go by a window and the sun's out, I can. If I don't feel the heat, I can't tell if the sun's out or not, like if it's cloudy or nothing. So I've thought about calling, just something like Blind Reality, just as an example name, and or just something to do. But then I don't know, because eventually, if my sight does come back, or at least get somewhat, then it really wouldn't be blind. So it wouldn't really, and I don't know how much you can change it. So that's why I just keep it. Just kept it as my name for the time being, and just maybe down the road I may change it to something different. But right now my name is just like I just have it as my name for now. And see, my YouTube URL, because used to get back years ago, you could have like a custom URL for your YouTube channel, which would be youtube.com/ and then my name, like HANSLAST. Or maybe there was a dash. I can't remember, because I haven't given it to anybody in so long. And So, and that's what I think. If a person does go to that URL, it should bring up my channel that way without having to go in through the search and type in my name that way. And so, but yeah, I've seen a lot of, like YouTube go through a lot of changes. And they used to have where you could actually edit your videos right on the YouTube itself, but now I don't know if they still do, but now they've got like the uploader's changing, because I do a lot from the website, because it's just that it's like the phone, it's done it, but it takes longer. And then with like and then you have to keep the screen unlocked too, because I found on like the iPhone 6 that I had, like I've got a new iPhone SE2 now, and I don't know if it, like if you let the screen lock, if it'll stop the transfer or not. But so that's what I had that on my 6, the couple that I've done from the iPhone. So I've had to, and I find I can just let it go even if it takes, because my internet speed is, I only have like about 1 megabit per second up. So a 10-minute video can take almost 2 hours to upload, because that camera that I use is an HD. So even a 10-minute can do about 700-800 megabyte file, and that takes about almost 2 hours to upload at my internet speed. So if I do something, say having it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, it's like maybe ready to be viewed on YouTube sometime after 10 o'clock in the evening. So it takes a little bit, and then, as I said, because I don't really do anything, I don't know really a lot of ideas of what to do videos on. So
right,
and that's why there's a lot of times there's like long gaps between videos, unless I get on a spurt where I have a few ideas of videos I want to do. So they come to me as I do, they come as I make. The ideas come in. If it's like 2 months between a video, or sometimes it can be 3 days. It just depends how I feel.
So how long ago did you go blind?
Well, really, it started in about the fall of 2017, actually, when I really started to notice the changes, and then it started going downhill in 2018, and just ever since then. So like it's just I've been having where I've had to use a cane and all that stuff for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And how old are you, just out of curiosity?
Well, yeah, I don't mind telling my age. I turned 50 years old this past October, so this month coming up I'll be 51.
Is there a cure for your eye condition?
Well, they don't know. See, I've been going to a specialist, and the problem, and I think what's slowing things down is I've got inflammation. He keeps saying that there's been persistent inflammation, and trying to take different drops to get it down, and he said I don't know if it's really any worse, but he said trying to get that, and he's saying that I in all likelihood would need a cornea transplant. So hopefully that transplant will fix the problem. And they didn't say it was absolutely 100% guaranteed carved in stone that it would be fixed, but they said they're different. Even if it gets it back somewhat, that I get somewhat functional vision, because I had a cataract removed as well, and he wanted the doctor here wanted to deal with the cornea first and then the cataract, but he sent me to a specialist that decided to go ahead and just take the cataract out and wait, and then just wait on the cornea. And so I come to the doctor. After I'd had the surgery, he wanted to wait, but I said no. There's no change in my vision. So he comes and looked, and I told him, and he was not too pleased. He was not very impressed with the specialist for fouling up his, because that fouled up his plan, that what he had to do. So of course that changes what he would have to do. So that's how that went.
And so that kind of answers my next question, because the cornea transplant might be like a fix for it, and you said you might get that. So
yes, yeah, and hopefully it does, because I really do. I could. I'm still fairly capable, because the rest of me is fine. It's just my eyes. And my right eye, of course, has been a prosthetic artificial eye, which I've had since '93, and I think that had glaucoma in it, from what people were telling me, because it was all like people say they would stare at me and I've had people tell me that it's all covered. It would just look like a white film, like just like it was like I couldn't even see the black part. It was just kind of like white. It just looked it looked pretty bad with what some people were saying. And so and I think, and so that's like I think the end result was glaucoma, which was and they had to take out in '93, and then I got the artificial eye in I think in about January of '94, because they had like after they took the eye out in December of '93, they put a plastic sort of a cap thing in there just to hold the shape of the opening, and until they could get me into the oculaires to have an artificial eye made up. And so I got that in January, I guess about later in January of 1994.
Okay.
And yes. And I'm just, any hopes and thoughts and prayers and stuff that that this eye, the left eye, which is still my functioning eye, would say, such as it is can be saved with the cornea transplant.
Right.
And I had been previously, before this loss of sight, I was using Zoom text, and I was using like magnification. I was using about 7 or 8 times magnification, and fortunately, because I had some exposure to like JAWS, and like I'm using NVDA because I don't have 1,000 whatever for JAWS to pay, and we have a program here, a government assisted devices program up here, at least here in the province of Ontario, here in Canada, where you can get every 5 years you can get equipment to help out in your daily living, whether it's not just for blind and visually impaired people, it's for people with other disabilities too. You can get various devices to help in your daily living.
Right.
So, and with blind, you can get the computer because they give you like a writing device and a reading device. So you can get a computer with JAWS or or whatever accessible technology in it, whether it's like now it's I think JAWS, and because I don't know if WindowWise still exists or not, and of course, like NVDA is free, so that's okay. That's fine there. But like with JAWS, and they set them up to like the vendor sets the computer up the way you need that works with the accessible technology, or like with Zoom text if applicable, and a reading device that can either be a scanner, like a flatbed scanner, or it could also be like one of these. I think the Victor streams will be covered in like like these Daisy players, which we have here. But I think now everything's going more digital, and so like these Daisy players, which is like a player, and it uses like a compact disc, and it puts files on it, and it's just a special player, and it works. And I think it can still do, but I think a lot of it's downloadable now. Now we have the Dolphin Easy Reader app on the smartphones, where you can, and it has like we can get. For like any clients with the CNIB, which is our blind organization here in Canada, can get Bookshare you get Bookshare material for free. We do not have to pay for it. If see
Pause last 19 minutes 17 seconds.
People otherwise
Pause last 19 minutes. Pause last 19 minutes. Pause last 19 minutes 20 end call.
Which is like I guess center of our something. Some the equitable library access, something in that, and then there's some other libraries that are there that work with the Dolphin Easy Reader app as well. But we use the one for our CNIB library here, which that plus as I say, Bookshare. If we want the membership, we just have to register, send an image of our CNIB identification card, and that's enough. Then they can register for Bookshare.
Okay.
So that's a plus. Yeah, so that's a plus for Canadians that want to use Bookshare. They can get they don't have to pay.
Right.
Yeah, because normally I think it's like $10 and something US for a yearly membership. But it's which we don't have to pay that here.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a little about that. So I mean, I'm due. I could have gotten my next computer because the last time I got was in 2013, and that laptop, of course, is quit. And, meanwhile, I got one from my sister that she was using that has Windows 7 on it. So I have had some exposure to Windows 10 because I've had a laptop when I was going to move to the States, and which that didn't work out. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, I was using one there, but I think the hardware didn't do too well. It wasn't powerful enough to fully handle full capabilities of Windows 10. So that's so when I came back here after my ex and I had called it, packed it in as a a nice way to say it. I just left the computer there and had this one here that my sister had. So I kind of miss some things about Windows 10, but I know that I'll get it when I go for my assessment later on, maybe this year or next year. It all depends now, of course, on the coronavirus right now, because right now there's still, like a lot of things here in Canada, at least, are still shut down and are just starting to very slowly get back to normal. We're taking things very, very slow and cautiously up here, and just doing things like it's a very, very slow and gradual rollout reopening process here. Yes.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber?
I don't really know. I mean, I have, like, some of the ones I like are, well, of course, your videos are fine, and I like the ones, like, when I've subscribed to Hope Rouge fairly recently, thanks to thanks to the recommendation from you, and a couple of the others, they're doing everything blind, and because I always hear your subscriptions, and so that, I mean, Hope Rouge I thought was pretty good, and like yourself, and I think sometimes when playing the keyboard and stuff like that, when you and Thomas and the three of you get on there, and like we need to do the keyboard stuff, some of those is pretty good, or just chatting. And but outside, other than that, I don't know if I really have a specific YouTuber that I like, because I know I used to a lot of times years ago, when my vision was a lot better. I would just go on and spend a few hours a day on YouTube just searching for random content and just watching them, and then just finding subscriptions that way. But more recently, I've just and I think like my RP life, I think he was pretty good. Blind to Billionaires content's pretty good, and he seems to be very keeping people informed about the $1,200 stimulus payouts and that have been I like that. He's very good about that. And just talking about, and it's good to hear about any other blind YouTubers out there, to hear about their experiences. So I don't really have one specific favorite YouTuber that I like. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for blind YouTubers?
Well, like I say, the best thing to do is just in terms of when you do, just when you like to, I don't know how a lot of people place the cameras with their phones, but if you hold okay, if you're going to tape something, I should say taping, because that's long. The digital, we don't use tapes now. But anyway, if you're making a video, make sure you get the camera pointed the best you can. I mean, just kind of know where the camera is. And what I do, if I'm making a video of something, I'll try to line up, take a good guess at where I'm, and then I'll just turn my face towards where I know the camera, where I think the camera to be, and just hope for the best. And
enter in Chrome StreamYard camera, post the comment, edit text.
Otherwise, just
currently high.
Just talk, and the other thing is too, clarity. And when make sure, if you're showing something, make sure you be as descriptive as you can, so that other blind YouTubers can see that, I'm doing, if you're, for example, if you're going out in the car, you're riding in a car, you're just, you can say, even if a little bit, just say, okay, this is, we're just, I'm out just, out here. And if you can't see it, it's okay. But, and another thing is too, I've seen certain people to tag their video, to name, to try to come up with a name for, what the video is going to be, because I noticed if they just put the date, it's well and good. But if you do 2 or 3 videos in the same day, and it's harder to find, do you know what's in it? Because it also gives the people, you kind of know what to expect in the video when you put a title on it, playing, just talking about this, or, the certain topics you're talking about, or just hanging out to, the three of us, some people, playing Mad Libs or hanging out together, just that kind of thing. If the videos are
right,
labeled,
for example,
then,
I labeled this one "Interviewing Hans Last."
Right, exactly, yeah.
And my next one will be interviewing Austin Nix, and my next one will be interviewing Nicole Cotta.
What's on that video, and then
because I'll be doing 4 videos on my channel today.
Yes.
Option,
yeah.
chat. End of conclude. Check post. End of lip. Comment action. Show comment in. Please check out my channel. TalentedH.v. 04:32 p.m. Control.
Talented HV says, please check out my channel.
Okay, yeah, I've I've thought about it. I know, I personally don't, I'm personally not into the newer stuff, but yeah, I will definitely, I will check out your channel at some point, and so yeah, I will, I will give it a shot and see how it is, because I can say, yeah, I guess I can say it's okay to say like doing everything blind on the keyboard when he plays the keyboard. I listened to the original Tom Petty song, that All Right for Now. He actually, and I actually like the way Thomas does it better. He actually does better. Honestly, that sounds better than Tom Petty saying it. So, and that's, sometimes you just gotta it's just in the person. But yes, definitely, Haley, I will definitely check out your channel. And
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:34 p.m.
okay, so I guess that covers everything else. I don't know if you or any of the viewers have any questions, or
I don't have any more questions for you.
okay.
Does any of my viewers have any questions for Hans? If so, please type them in the comments.
Okay, yeah, well,
I'm not seeing anything, so.
yeah. Okay. Well, as I said, anybody that may catch this as that is watching this after the fact, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and yeah, and so like I say, I don't have a set pattern as like a routine when videos come out. They just come when they do. I mean, if it's like one
Right.
day one comes out, and another couple days later, or sometimes it may be a month or 2 or 3, or just they come out when they come out.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being on my channel, and take care,
Enter
and
and find your desktop.
God bless.
Yes, and same to you. And it was a
Enter
pleasure
and
being
find your
on
desktop.
the
Enter in Chrome StreamYard. Camera,
share a little
microphone,
bit about,
recording.
and hopefully
Google Chrome
people
standard
seeing
window.
this will get a better idea. And as I said, just at least they know who I am when they subscribe to Hans Last. And
Right.
yeah.
Well, hang on, I just got another comment.
Option. Please comment action. Talented What's channel? You are currently on a text element.
It's
Control.
Hans Last. HANS space LAST.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys later.
All right. Again, I apologize for not being able to come directly through StreamYard, but
That's okay. It
the main
happens.
thing is that the information, like people can hear me and
Yep.
everything. So okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. It's
Yep.
been a pleasure. All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
End the broadcast. Not yet end broadcast. Dialogue with 3 items. End the broadcast.